Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another Wisdom Week with Kaki. If you are new here, welcome. If you're returning, thank you for joining me today. I do have some notes before I go into the reading. As I was meditating, some of the things that came up were resistance, learning to walk before you can learn to run, preparation for new cycles, letting go, allowing and flowing, as well as adjustment and flexibility. I do have other notes as well. We are in a waxing gibbous moon cycle, which is the one before the full moon. We will be going into a full moon on October 9th, and it's going to be in the placement of Aries. So in regards to the why do I see waxing? Waxing. I keep saying waxing. Sorry, guys. The waxing gibbous moon, it asks us to reflect on our progress and make adjustments when needed. It talks about some potential goals may have not worked out or met your expectations. So allow yourself to redirect your energy into activities that are seeing results, where you are seeing results or progress. Try to remain flexible and be comfortable with uncertainty. This full moon in Aries that is coming up on October 9th is going to be relating to surrendering, healing, a lot of fiery energy, and then past things coming up to be resolved as well. Other themes are moving on, forgiving, and letting go completely. Wow, words. I'm going to blame it on the Mercury retrograde shadow. We're now out of Mercury retrograde, but we still have about a week to 2 weeks where we still feel those energies. So yeah, blame it all on Mercury retrograde. But anyways, it also is going to have themes of movement, whether that is to do with physical movement and or energy movement as well, and shifting energy. With that being said, some of the crystals that I intuitively picked out are, if I butcher these, I'm so sorry, guys. Botswana agate. It is helpful with grounding, protection. It helps address repressed emotional issues, and it helps you release as well, and healing so that positive change can take place. And yeah, I think this is going to be a really good crystal for this full moon that is coming up. There's a lot of other properties that it has, but I'm not going to go into too many of the properties that each of these crystals have, because we would probably be here for way longer. And then I have pyrite. This helps with energy shielding. It blocks out negative energy. It helps tap into abilities and potential. It also stimulates flow of ideas, relieves anxiety. It boosts your self-worth, confidence, increases energy. So one of the themes that I noticed a lot with the crystals that I intuitively picked out, most of them have to do with protection, with grounding, with energy shielding, and then also uplifting overall in general. We then have red calcite, and this is going to help in increase of energy. It uplifts emotions, aids willpower. It opens the heart chakra. It removes stagnant energy. It has to do with the base energy, so the root chakra, the sacral, and then the solar plexus. And then that one also does help with grounding as well as balancing emotions. We have peacock ore. I think this one's absolutely beautiful, and I don't know if my camera is gonna bring this into focus, but this is known as the stone of happiness. It enhances creativity, it uplifts self-esteem, removes energy blockages, it helps identify new opportunities, and it also helps us remember not to take life too seriously, and it helps bring in joy as well. We have two more that I picked out, and then, like I said, a lot of these themes are very similar. But we have citrine, and this is a powerful cleanser. It's a regenerator, energizing. It's highly creative. It's one of the crystals that actually doesn't need cleansing. It transmutes and dissipates and then grounds negative energy. It's extremely protective for your environment. It raises self-esteem. So again, we're seeing that uplifting theme as well. It also improves motivation and creativity and helps with concentration and a bunch of other things. And then lastly, we have some more smoky quartz. This is a smoky quartz. And this is going to help with grounding. It raises vibrations during meditation. It's very protective. Again, we're seeing another common theme with these that I intuitively picked out. It neutralizes negative vibrations. It teaches how to leave behind anything that no longer serves you. And then also, a lot of these do also help with anxiety and depression. But yeah, those are some of the crystals that I intuitively picked out before going into the reading. We talked about the moon phase that we're in, and we'll be moving into that full moon. But with that being said, we can go ahead and jump into our reading. I'm going to start off with the Crow Tarot. So definitely use this time to take some deep breaths, to set an intention, and let's see what themes come out for this week. And then keep in mind, since this is a collective energy, not everything may apply to you. And get in where you fit in, take what resonates, and leave the rest. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these. As I'm shuffling these, feel free to, like I said, take that time to set your intentions. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Universe. Thank you, God. Thank you for all of the blessings, all the protection, for everything that you do for the collective. Thank you for waking us out of our bed today. Please bring forth the messages that we need to hear at this, that was too many, at this very moment, that are in our highest good and the highest good of everybody around us. What are the messages and the themes for this week? What messages do we need to hear for this week? Okay, we have the King of Wands. What other messages do we need to hear? We have the Two of Wands in reverse. What other messages or themes will we be finding this week? I have the Eight of Pentacles. This will have to do with working on like projects and sorry, I was reading into the energy. It helps with it's gonna have themes of working on projects and building. As you can see, the crow is engraving these pentacles, and he's got all of these in the background. What other messages will we be seeing this week? Any other messages? We have the Two of Cups in reverse. All right, we're going to go ahead and dive into these. And then if I feel like we need to clarify anything or need to pull anything else, we'll go ahead and do that as well. All right, so starting off with the King of Wands. Thank you guys for joining in. And thank you for being patient. I'm telling y'all, this Mercury retrograde post-shadow is messing with my words. All right, so for the King of Wands. The King of Wands is an entrepreneurial bird who can take on who could take a concept and fly with it. Under the supervision of the king, the idea transforms into reality and will reach its highest potential possible. He is relentlessly in his pursuit of perfection and with laser-like vision, focuses on the goal. He is charismatic and natural-born leader, although at times he can be a bit arrogant. In a reading, the energy of the King of Wands represents either yourself or someone who has a clear vision of what needs to be accomplished for a project to be successful. Remember when I pulled the Eight of Pentacles, I was talking about projects. I already see a theme of working on just building in your life and working on projects and potentially on like the behaviors as well throughout this week. Take this as a confirmation that focus energy will result in a positive and fruitful outcome. Last week when we did our reading, it talked about using our time and our energy to set more like structure and working towards just thinking about things a little bit more long term. And I'm seeing that in this week, if you implemented those practices, that you're gonna be able to see like the progress that you're making within that. And then we have the Two of Wands in reverse. So the Two of Wands reverse is a message to look for areas in your life where you are reluctant to make a decision or cannot prioritize your goals. And this was another thing that came up last week, and how some of the things that came up again were you could go two routes. You could go the route of where you set structures and then you are able to see some forward movement, or you can ignore those messages or that energy and stay stagnant, which we are seeing here, and it's coming back up and talking about prioritizing our goals again. And this also has to do with the messages that I received during meditation before we even started going into the reading, where we were talking about resistance. So stop resisting to changes, and again, you have to be putting yourself in an energy of preparing for new cycles, allowing things to flow. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles, and I know I already spoke about this a little bit, but let's go ahead and see what the full message for this is. So the Eight of Pentacles, the crow diligently and masterfully carves a pentacle in the coin. Away from the noise of the roost, he is focused and determined to finish all 8 coins to perfection. Again, we're talking about hard work, progressing forward, determination. The Eight of Pentacles encourages you to further your education to master the skills that will enable you to become an expert in the area of your soul purpose. At this stage, it may be hard to recognize, but through hard work and dedication, you will find the success you seek. Yeah, so it looks like we have one more card to go through, but as I mentioned, a lot of what will be coming up this week is determination, working towards your goals. Really, again, setting those structures and bringing yourself to be able to just get things done, be able to progress and move forward. And then we have the Two of Cups in reverse. So it is reversed, but upright, the Two of Cups offers a harmonious partnership. Reverse, you are finding it challenging to agree with your partner. There may be a loss of respect or imbalance in power that has resulted in resentment. So we might see some resentment come up during this week. This imbalance can also not necessarily be shown in just partnerships, but that imbalance with everything else that we were just talking about in your projects, in your progress. I do want to clarify that Two of Cups in reverse. Can I get clarification with the Two of Cups in reverse, please? Can we get clarification for the Two of Cups in reverse? Clarification for the Two of Cups in reverse, please. Okay, so we have the Six of Wands. So let's see what the clarification for that imbalance and that resentment has to do with. Let's see. Yeah, it's about trusting that you're on the right path, and again, coming to that balance with yourself and what it is that you want to do and how you want to go about things to be able to move forward. It's about your confidence and your drive. Take a moment and look back to where you once were and know where you are now. Even though progress may seem slow, know that taking little steps forward and putting in that work is going to get you to a place of peace and victory. Don't forget to acknowledge your efforts and how far you've come. I think that that's something that we take for granted a lot. Sometimes we're in a space where we feel like we haven't been doing much, or like there's not, quote unquote, enough movement happening, or you feel like you're in a stagnant place. But more often than not, too, we forget to look at where we used to be. And it's not to like compare, but more so to acknowledge that you have gone through a lot and have just been a long way to get to where you are right now. Maybe 5 years ago, you couldn't have seen yourself where you are in the moment, or even in the world. But yeah, so those are some of the themes we're going to be seeing this week. And I'm going to go ahead and pull 2 last messages. Thank you guys for sticking around and for being patient. What is the advice for the week? Can I get advice for the week for the collective, please? What does the collective need to hear? What is the advice? Ooh, that popped out. See? Okay, this is exactly. Have faith in your dreams. This is exactly what we were talking about with putting in the work and the little steps, and knowing that as long as you are putting energy into what you want to do and your projects and your work and your purpose, you're going to be able to see some results. And this is the waxing crescent moon. Let's go ahead and read the message for this so we can get some more insight as well. I love it when things align. It's confirmation. Okay. Have faith in your dreams. Don't give up. The situation you're asking about is still taking shape. You're nowhere near the end of the story. Whatever is happening now is just a step along the way. As they say in the self-help classics. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. However, the waxing crescent moon is a reminder that you must still keep working towards whatever it is that you want, which is exactly what we have been talking about during this whole reading. Taking those steps, taking practical steps. If you can't take practical steps, spend time meditating on the question you're asking about. And allow your higher self to download information to you about your next best step. Overall, this card suggests that there is every reason to be hopeful for a very positive outcome in the situation you're asking about. So keep the faith. So the affirmation with this is, I am focused on what I want. Some additional meanings for this card may be, just because you can't see your dreams, it doesn't mean that they're not manifesting. What have we been talking about this whole time? Literally that. Just because you don't feel like you are progressing, it doesn't mean that those things are not manifesting. It doesn't mean that your work is going to pay off. That you're not necessarily, I don't even want to necessarily call it work, but your efforts. Don't look back, stay focused on moving forward. Be patient as events unfold. And that also goes back to the message that I got during the meditation. Learning to walk before you can run. Taking those small steps and those little steps really do matter. Dig a little deeper to find more courage. The waxing crescent moon is the second moon phase in the 8 main moon phases. But even if it's not the time of the waxing crescent moon, when you pull this card, it still suggests that you need to really pursue your dreams. It's the time to put your foot down hard as you chase your goals. Let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and pull one more message and we will wrap it up. Thank you guys for joining. Hello. We are almost at the end of this reading. I am going to go ahead and upload it on my YouTube if you guys would like to revisit, or for those of you that missed it, so that you guys are able to receive those messages if you feel called to. All right. So I'm going to be using the deck called The Enlightenment After Self-War. What is the final message for the collective? What is the final message for the collective? Thank you for these messages. Thank you for the protection, the abundance. Can we get a final message for the collective, please? We have Divine Union. And it says, Union, the gracefulness of things coming together. I'm already seeing where this is coming in play with what we talked about. Things coming together, putting in that effort and seeing the results of those efforts. This may represent things finally coming together in your life, answers being revealed, a relationship finding clarity, or coming together with a higher version of yourself. This is to be celebrated and you deserve it. And that also goes back to that, to the 6 of Wands that we pulled. Remember, we were talking about celebrating yourself and the efforts and all the work that you have been and will be putting into all your endeavors. You are being asked to remember the delicacy of unionship, for it is an exquisite blessing to our lives in all forms. In all of its forms. A dark passage you may have been walking is reaching its end, bringing all things together. This is a time where we begin to understand things we were not able to see before. This card sends a gentle reminder of the nature of relationships. It is not through yearning or craving that things come together, but through letting light and the divine pass through you and somebody or something to give it proper room to cultivate and grow. And going back to those messages, remember of that resistance showing up and just allowing and flowing and just preparing, having that flexibility. But thank you so much for receiving these messages. I appreciate you guys so very much, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night. And I'll see you guys next week. Thank you.